Finland on defense. Dorado, as we mentioned, it's the first time we get to see it here at Blizzcon. We saw it obviously throughout the group stages. Time we're going to be starting out on the May this time around. Linkser, of course, has been that Reinhardt all the way through. This is a team of 6 DPS players, so all having to adjust to their positions. Mafu has been fantastic on Zaya, but this is a very aggressive forward defensive position from Finland.
It is, and Finland are going to get a lot of good healing. I mean, this triple tank comp with the May is quite robust and safe to play, although this positioning, maybe not so much. You can see Timer was bursted down quite heavily early on, and a decent wall. This is going to force Linkser back, or else he'll be taken down and picked off. But you can see this Russia getting aggressive. They want to try and break this defensive hold here, but Reds is going to be the first to fall to Lynx.
That's the big tank down, no forward field, and of course that means the hooks will land. Anak gets caught out. Quick biotic grenade will keep him alive. The May wall launching them in the air from unfixed there. But this is a very risky play. Of course, the theory behind this crazy aggressive style is if they do die, if they get wiped out, they still have the chance to spawn, get back in there before the first point's captured.
Yeah, before even that choke point. It looks like that's going to be the way things are going here. Reds and unfixed opening up well. Anak finds Himsy, and Shadowburn now dancing around that payload. It's not going to be long-lived for Timu, who's eventually cut down. Maffrey, though, with a quick double, that's quite big. That's a big deal. That buys a lot of good time for Finland to get back. Staggers Russia out just a little bit more. So that little double, although it didn't win the fight, definitely going to be worth more than it seems.
The big thing for Russia, of course, is they're coming back. They have a nano-boosted Genji Dragon Blade ready and waiting to go. The second that Finland return. Of course, Zapis has himself his nano boost as well, so he might be able to throw that out onto Lynx. So Lynx is going to have that Earth Shatter. Timer's going to have the Blizzard, so it's going to be a whole big ult fest going on in the moment as soon as they hit his statue.
This Blizzard might just be enough to break it, actually. Ball comes up, you can hear the Blizzard coming down. A Shadowburn, he does it again. He goes up high, and then he dashes down, but this time it works. He's like a dive bomber there, and it went well. He gets himself a lot of damage in 1 kill over that fight. Rubicon, 2 kills from the back line, just sending darts left, right, and center. And with Lynx now falling, Finland using a lot of ultimates there themselves, but it's not going to be enough. Russia will have this first checkpoint.
Yeah, it's one thing to say you know what he does, it's another to actually deal with it.
Absolutely.
And it seems so. Russia, they get themselves a very easy first checkpoint. So Finland, you know, they tried to go for that option. There you go, they're up in the air, straight down and straight through. And when, of course, they are pulled into that graviton surge, the Blizzard basically being bypassed by the entire Russian squad. So that didn't really counter. And it puts them through that really tricky situation. The first point is very hard to capture here on Dorado. And now, of course, they're pushing into the church with, what, 4 minutes on the clock. This is a good start for Russia.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Finland, the onus is on them. They're going to have to leap down from this high point, just like this, and start the fight. And they're going to have to keep doing this. Like, Graviton catches no one in particular there. So Maffrey pulling that one a bit early. And the wall goes up. You see Russia were already well and truly disengaging from that fight. Perhaps a little bit of a misread from Finland after getting that first pick on the high ground.
Yeah, good reactions from Godspeed there to pull Russia backwards. The second Shadowburn got caught out, they immediately disengaged. And now they're coming straight back in. Now they have the advantage, of course, because they've got that big Blizzard that they can throw out if Finland decide to drop down on them, which is most likely what they're going to try and do.
So already Shadowburn wants to get up behind, and what he'll probably do is jump into the air, have Rubicon throw the nano boost at him from a long way away, and then obviously get the Dragon Blade on in. But for now, Shadowburn seems to be not convinced that it's ready time to go. We do hear a Blizzard getting used there as well. Shadowburn trying to reflect a bit of damage to Graviton. Was not reflected though, and most of Russia are going to be caught up in that one now. But Shadowburn going high, looking for Timu, who still gets down and
forces him out the Deadeye as well, forces him to react to that one. And this is actually a very even fight, but now it's turning in Russia's favor. Shadowburn still sitting on the Dragon Blade, remember, he hasn't needed to use it in this entire fight, and Finland are going to get wiped out. 3 minutes still on the clock to just get around this corner with the Dragon Blade in your pocket. This is massive for Russia.
Yeah, I find this very interesting from Finland, as they haven't yet really hit a rhythm. And of course, the last fight, Timu was so vulnerable there to Shadowburn getting up behind him. He went for the reflect, and Timu was forced to drop down. Look at that, Timu already so low now. Dragon Blade going to come out from Shadowburn. He was going to be looking for Timu. Who else would he go for in this case? Himsy a target, but no, it's going to be turned on towards Mafu. Use one more slash, put the blade away, and now a couple of shurikens will get the job done. Convincing fight for Russia, and Finland haven't stopped them at all here.
Lynx is going to come out, gets himself the Earth Shatter, but it's too little, too late. The rest of his team just get battered down, and they move into the final payload section. 4 minutes on the clock for Russia. This is not going the way Finland planned it.
And they're going to have a Blizzard available there as well. So Finland do make the incorrect move, I'm going to say, of engaging on Russia with not enough ultimates back behind them. It's going to be one Blizzard will be enough to rule them all, and in fact to freeze them all. That's going to be very, very scary. So nano boost available here for Rubicon. Finland working on some of that ultimate economy we were talking about. They do have a Graviton here for Mafu. That will be crucial. Whole Hog's not far away either. That combo was actually one of the nastiest in the game, DPS-wise.
He's got to pull the trigger at the right time. Of course, we saw him whiffing it at the church. He's got to just hold his nerve right now. While Russia, of course, sitting on a whole stack of ultis. Russia, once again, disengaged perfectly. They set themselves up. They're going to try and stack out in the stairwell. They're going to try and fight them on the high ground.
Mappy there as well. Obviously, lasering the wall reminds me of No Man's Sky. Doesn't do much in this game. They don't really get anything for it. The payload's going to move through. Look at that Shadowburn already going up on high. Great little bite of grenade, though, with Zappas throwing that one down, allowing Himsy to finish off the kill. Now it's going to be the engagement here. Linksa does have himself an nano boost. Red sets himself up to be charged against the wall, and Rubicon's got nowhere to run there. Fire Strike doesn't catch him, though. Doesn't do the extra damage, but still, enough has been done here to force Russia back. And this next fight will be very interestingly. We have big ultimates on both sides of the map here. It's all going to come down to who can use them better. Who dares wins.
Taimu with the Deadeye, going to get himself positioned. You can see him going very passively, sitting much deeper than he ordinarily would, of course. Wants to try and catch them a little off guard, but Shadowburn, he went in a little early there in that last fight. He was the man that went down first, and of course, again, Himsy catching him out. Now he's got the Dragon Blade. Rubicon's trying to sit and position himself, poise himself almost for this Dragon Blade nano boost, which you see Shadowburn just left-hand side, waiting to launch himself in there. Godspeed's got that sound barrier. Expect that to see the almost the go signal effectively as they try and boost them up there. There goes Shadowburn, and in he goes.
Dragon Blade and sound barrier going to block a lot of that damage up. It's just shield as well on towards Zappas, but it won't last forever. No one's going to be cut down, and Shadowburn gets 2 kills. Blizzard in Graviton as well, just for good measure. Himsy wasn't going anywhere anyway, but still, Russia pushed through. Big old fight, and they come out well in top. That'll be enough to secure pretty much this map for them.
From Russia with love, Shadowburn slices his way through Finland. Just one little chance as Taimu drops on down, but he can't keep them at bay. The rest of Russia try and keep them pinned off the side. Shadowburn continues to strike as he gets himself shiny, but Taimu's just being left alone. He's picking them off left, right, and center, and they are forced away from the point just at the marker.
1 HP is what Taimu had remaining after that one as well. Those subsequent headshots cutting Russia off at the knees. It looked like they would have been home and hosed, home free. They had it in the palm of their hands. They won a fight where both teams used probably 5 ultimates each and didn't lose anyone. But they lost that advantage, they lost that impetus, and Finland have a chance here to re-establish. They're going to have to keep the diva though. That might be an issue here for Mappy.
Yeah, he's going to have to try and keep himself going. Mafu, of course, without that Graviton Surge is pretty big. That's going to be Taimu actually launched out of the picture there. That's actually caused a problem because now he didn't get the DPS down. Shadowburn's going wild. Meanwhile, in the backside, gets a quick deflection into Taimu's face. Mafu just left alone. He's going to get desuited, taken down. The Blizzard comes through. They will be picking up the round, and it's going to have around about 40 seconds left on the time back. Not a bad time indeed for Russia. 37 seconds, the final time.
They said, we know how to play against Shadowburn. We know what he does. But Shadowburn looked anything but leashed in that game. It was all about him when it came down to those Dragon Blade scenarios, and he used it well. Would have been a little bit quicker, though, for the Russians there if Taimu hadn't thrown well, I guess a stick between the bike spokes, Lee, but as it stands, 40 seconds remain. Dorado is not a short map. It is hard to finish this one, let alone actually have a decent time bank with it. And Russia will be happy with that. Now it is up to Finland to not only reciprocate, but exceed its previous high.
Dorado is a tough map to finish. There's no doubt about it. And that was, while it is only 37 seconds, it was finished. And that's a tough old chance. Shadowburn going off here in the replay, showing him around the back there. Deflection on Taimu. It's always a bit of a kicker when the ult comes back in your face.
So against a team that's very tank heavy, like Finland, it's going to be hard for Shadowburn to find those crucial targets here. But he did his job. Even a quad tank team is going to have Anna and Lucio, and you can see that Shadowburn, it can be a little bit tricky as a McCree player to judge correctly when the animation or when the blocking period of the Genji reflect finishes, but he did his job. That's what you're going to see. Shadowburn doesn't really care about killing Zayas. He doesn't care about killing Roadhogs or Reinhardts. He wants to kill the 2 supports. At that point, his job's done.
I'm interested to see how it's going to work as well, the fact that he's using Genji on defense. You know, but never really sure on Genji on defense, but when you got Shadowburn in the team, obviously bearing in mind he played a lot of Reaper in the Spanish game. And he shied away from effectively Genji a fair amount, and obviously played Tracer throughout the groups as well. But this time around, of course, Genji in defense, we'll see how it works out. Finland sticking with the tried and tested, going in with 3 tanks, Linksa, Mafu and Himsy, trying to bring it through. And of course, it's down to Taimu to deal with him.
So defensive Genji can be a little bit risky if you get caught out in a compromising position, but Shadowburn will be looking for openings the whole time. He'll cast a keen eye over the side of Finland and hope to try and find their support in a position where he can dash in, get a quick kill, and dash back out with a reset.
Shadowburn already taking a big chunk of damage there, gets himself back out, healed up by Rubicon. The hook's not going to go through from Himsy now, though shield will block that off. But again, it's going to start working them down, trying to get some damage on. Anak does take a chunk. Another hook comes through. This time they pull themselves in reds. Hello, goodbye. And the tank is down. There's no shield to hide behind anymore.
That first pick's very important. That's exactly why you're going to bring Roadhog into a lineup like this. And notice that Himsy wasn't lazy there. He got the hook, but he made sure he landed the headshot. It's so tempting just to hit a gut shot when you pull a Reinhardt in. But he secured the kill by hitting him right in the noggin with as much shrapnel as possible.
Anak's shields quickly work down. Unfixed taking damage. Reds will be back into the action right now. The rest of the team are getting caught out. Shadowburn's going off while we look at that. The Blizzard comes in, and Shadowburn gets himself a quick double kill. And Russia will hold Finland back. So, first attack fails. Obviously, we see a bit more of a default strategy from Russia in the defense. So this buys them a lot more time sitting in this archway.
It was a Blizzard used by Russia there to isolate Finland. I believe it was Himsy and Taimu actually that were caught away from the rest of the team. More importantly, caught away from their supports. And guess who Shadowburn went for? He got Zappis, then he got Zany, and that was fight done.
So, Anak, of course, Graviton Surge, perfect positioning. They're going to go for the right flank, so keep your eye on this right-hand side of the screen where Shadowburn is looking at the moment. And they're going to come around this position, and the second they push around this corner into this market square, expect to see the Graviton Surge go straight down and probably see Shadowburn with the Dragon Blade back up again in this second attack, going straight for him.
It's going to be like hitting a pinata with a butter knife for him at that point. But we'll be Finland pushing through now as well. You can see Shadowburn going to go up high and back down. This is what he does here. He gets Zany straight away though. That's quite nasty, and he can't respond to that. If you're Finland, Shadowburn takes him by surprise, and there's nothing they can do but just fall apart. Himsy though, at least getting the hook. That's a little bit of a silver lining here, but it's unlikely that it's going to be enough for Finland to really capitalize on. But look at him. Himsy's still looking for another hook.
They've managed to keep Zappis alive. He was down to about 10 health in there. Now he gets himself healed back up, and that's a big important factor because he has that nano boost. Now Himsy pushing through. There's 5 ultis for Finland. You can see Time is going to use that Deadeye. That's going to force him around the corner. You see the Graviton Surge come out, but there's not a great deal of follow-up. Now goes into Blizzard. They all get caught up. Nana comes in, and that's going to be Russia absolutely cleaving their way through Finland. They are cleaned off once again at the statue with only 1 minute 20 on the clock. Finland are going to have to get a move on.
Russia almost made a grave mistake. In fact, they did make that mistake. With Shadowburn going a little bit too far, Finland baited him around the corner into a hook from Himsy, but you see that Russia had to dig deep in their pockets and use some big ults to try and save that one. Graviton's down, Blizzard's down, they don't actually have a sound barrier here either, and they're going to have to make do with just the Earth Shadow now, as Finland will start to get a little bit more desperate here, but they've got a nano boosted Reinhardt to potentially throw into the mix, as well as a Winston.
And there's the nano boost, it gets thrown straight out there. It's onto Mafu with the Winston. He's going to get himself the kill. Is he not? No, Rubicon manages to get himself away from that one, who finally get taken down, but it took a lot of work there. Anak manages to get himself some serious damage down at the back there, but it will be Finland that will push on through. Finally, Anak gets dealt with, and that is going to be the first marker reached. But it's only 3 minutes on the clock for Finland. They have a lot of work to do here in the church section.
Now, I'd like to see Finland stay with Mafu here right now because he has the Primal Rage. He'll be able to deny a lot of that high ground, that ledge away from Russia. If he can get in their midst, use Primal Rage and knock them off the edge. That could be automatically one fight for Finland if they respond and execute correctly off the disarray they're throwing the Russian side into.
Mafu, Primal Rage ready and waiting to go. Let's see whether they decide to leap up and go aggressive. Try and disrupt Russia at the moment as they set up, because Shadowburn's building himself up a nice ult percentage as he continues to land those shurikens. Taimu on the flank, he comes around, he's found Godspeed. Quick execution in the back there. Shadowburn first to back away, and that's going to buy Finland all the time they needed as the rest of Russia go aggressive.
Now Finland can pincer on. Taimu has such a power position now. Good flash, double flash in fact. Rubicon, it was a very, very quick use of the bionic grenade, but Taimu catches Reds as he tries to get around the corner. It wasn't his heel he caught, it was the back of Reinhardt's head. Manages to get the kill, and Mafu still has that power ultimate in play. Purely the jump pack impact was enough to knock Russia off the edge.
This is exactly what Finland needed after a bit of a slow start to the game. They needed to push through this church section very fast. 2 minutes on the clock, they're going to get engaged upon once again. You can see the Graviton Surge available for Anak as they try and push around, which is why we see the little disengage. Taimu getting himself beat up there, has to get himself the ulti off. Deadeye comes through, gets a flashbang on Shadowburn, picks him off, gets Godspeed, spins around and gets another, and that is all she wrote. Suddenly through the church section in no time at all. 3 minutes on the clock to finish the map.
Headshots are already a very powerful part of McCree's arsenal, but a nano boosted McCree hitting headshots consistently, that is frightening to say the very least. There's not always a high percentage choice to make in terms of doing damage, but when you can rely on Taimu to hit headshots and body shots and get damage done, then it actually becomes a very worthwhile use of that nano boost. And now Finland are using that to press forward.
I can't tell whether they were using Taimu as bait, because he went around the corner with the Deadeye and then quickly cancelled it out. Shadowburn go beating their ulti, but he's not going to really find anything at the moment, and now he's in this awkward situation. Finally gets Taimu down, but his ulti's already run out, so it's not a great deal of net results for that ulti going down. Reds luckily comes in and picks off Mafu, and now we're seeing Unfixed right-clicking, trying to get some execution shots. Finland with 2 minutes on the board, chasing Russia's time. Remember, 37 seconds in the time back, so Finland have to finish this map.
Well, we're going to see Shadowburn switch over towards the Reaper now as well. So Russia going to play a little bit safer now because they realize that there's still 1 minute and 30 in the bank for Finland. They need to go for something robust, that's safe, that's hard to get wrong, and this is a good comp for that. They've got the Mei, the Blizzard's going to be there. They've got Shadowburn who can use the nano boost when it becomes available as well. All very good things, all very safe things, but Finland will still look to exploit them here. Linksa can be nano boosted if required.
A good wall to separate Linksa there. There's going to be a Blizzard going straight down. They're going to chase Himsy into the corner. He gets himself frozen up, but the Earth Shatter comes on through. Unfix gets taken down, and Taimu goes off the chain as he finally manages to push on through. And nano boosted Reds, but he can't manage to find any targets. Lynx is the only man that he gets in there, and he's forced to charge away for his life as the rest of Finland push the payload through.
It's just as well that Reds backed away because he wouldn't be able to come back and try and hold for one last-ditch attempt here. Russia are struggling here. 30 seconds available for Finland. They've got to go. Timer's going to go for the Deadeye and prevent anyone coming from around the side. Aina gets taken down there. It's a life cheaply lost, and that could be enough for Russia to suffer here. Earthshatter comes in. Himsy up against the wall. It's going to be Taimu falling to Unfixed, and now Russia's starting to wake up in this fight.
Russia hold them off with 1 minute to go. Finally, they get Mafu down, and the payload is no longer contested. You see the golden marker. It is simply one team fight they need to pick up, but the advantage at the moment is in Russia's hands. They have the ulti stacked up. Anak's going to have his big Graviton Surge. Remember, Finland switched away from Graviton Surge. They don't have that big tool in their arsenal anymore, but they do have themselves the whole hog, and of course Mafu with the Primal Rage, but there's no great big damage dealer, no big suction, no big team fight winner at the moment in the hands for Finland.
It's interesting that Mafu stay with his Winston for as long as he has here. It is working out, to be fair. There's no Reaper or anything like that, so it's okay to not have a Graviton, but here's Himsy staying scarce for the moment here. There's going to be mutual sound barriers being used, and Nano Boost going on towards Mafu, if I'm not mistaken. Blizzard, Himsy trying to get himself out of it, but he can't get away. He's frozen solid. Shadowburn gets himself 2 kills, and even Unfixed charming in. Mafu heads up high, has a Primal Rage available, and he's going to need to use it here. Knocking back, you can see Godspeed almost over the edge, but a Graviton comes in, and Mafu can't do anything. 2 seconds left. Finland are cut just short of the end here, and into overtime. But Lee, there's no one here to stop it. It is going to be Russia to take away the first map, and Finland, that's going to hurt.
Nothing they could do there. You saw the whole hog in use, caught, frozen in time by the Blizzard. Shadowburn going off, the switch over to Reaper working wonders. And well, Russia take map number 1. We wondered exactly how they were going to deal with him. And well, and shows really 49 eliminations, 49, count them, 49 in 2 rounds with just 10 deaths. That's on the Genji and of course Reaper.
That's at least 12 eliminations ahead of his next closest teammate. That's a good 5,000 damage ahead of his next closest teammate there as well. There's Shadowburn demonstrating that it's not just the Genji that he can play well here, and it is just as well because, well, as we've seen, it seems that the Finnish players at least seem to think they have a way around it. But honestly, I really